In this video, we're going to be taking a look at building one of my favorite style benches to build because they're simple to build and they're great sellers. People like the look of them, but they don't take a lot of parts. So it's a very simple bench. So what we've done here, now this particular one, the customer wants it a little bit deeper than normal. Normally I would just use two 2x6s for the top, but in this case they want it 48 inches long and 14.5 inches deep. So the two 2x6s gets us 11, and then this 3.5 2x4 would get us that extra 3.5. So it'd be 14.5 inches deep. And then what I do on these is I've found the center point. Obviously it's 2 feet, and we'll have this piece here. It's 12 inches long, and I've just put a 45-degree bevel on both sides, and we'll use some 2.5-inch screws here to put all these together. Okay, and then we're going to also have a cleat on our legs that will put these ends together on both sides when we get our leg assemblies made. For our leg assemblies, we're going to be using two 2x4s that are 16.5 inches. Now, if you have access to 2x3s, you certainly could use two 2x3s in place of the 2x4s. Okay, now what I've done for my feet, I've taken some 12-inch pieces, and for my top, just like that, and that is going to be how our leg assembly goes. So both of these are 12 inches, and I just put a 15-degree miter on them, just for the heck of it, really. Okay, so that's pretty, so we're going to do 2 leg assemblies like that. Now what I do like to do when I'm putting my legs together is I like to put them together this way and put the screws in from the back, what will ultimately be the back side, just so those screws don't show on the outside of the bench. And you'll kind of see what I'm talking about once we get to putting it all together. And then finally, one 2x6 that we're going to use here that is 38.5, and that will be our leg, what I call our leg spreader. Okay, so just to kind of recap on our parts, one piece of 2x6 that's 38.5. I'm using pressure treated just because I had a piece of scrap pressure treated to use up, so I'm going to use it. And then 4 2x4s that are 16.5, 4 2x4s that I've ripped to 2.5 inches wide. Could use 2x3s as well, but 4 of those that are 12 inches with a 15-degree miter, then one 12-inch with a 45-degree bevel on both sides, 2 2x6s that are 48 for the length, and then one 2x4 that's 48. Okay, so I'll go ahead and put the leg assemblies together using 2.5-inch screws, and then I'll show you what those look like when they're all together. All right, our leg assemblies are complete. I would say do as I say, not as I do, because I put the screws on the outside. I would have really preferred to build it like this and have the screws on the inside, but it's not a huge deal. I've gone ahead and installed our cleat. See what I did there? And now I'm going to measure in from the end 2 inches, and then this is where our leg is going to go. Basically, just like that. So we're going to come in 2 inches, and then we're going to drive a 3.5-inch screw through this into each one of these to attach our leg to our bench top here. Okay. So let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and get that done, and then we'll put in the last piece of the puzzle here. This one will be a wrap. So let me go ahead and get that done. I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so what we did is we just grabbed some blocks of wood and blocked it up. I did 4 high, but what I want to do, so earlier I said this is 38.5, and what's a good idea to do is actually get on the bottom here. Let's move our blocks out of our way. So it's a good idea to field measure from here to here Now that should be 38 and a half. In my case, it was 38 and a quarter. And that's because probably, see, I'm not dead on this line, okay? So double check that dimension, and then we can adjust this accordingly. So I took a 1/4 inch off my stretcher here. And then what I did is 3.5 inch screws from the outside. So there you go. This one's all finished up. We're ready to go. And you can see it's a good looking bench, super sturdy bench. Now I did not have any more leveling feet on hand, so I will go to the hardware store and pick up some leveling feet before the customer comes and picks it up. But you can see it's a really good looking bench, indoors, outdoors, and it's very easy to assemble. And your cost is pretty minimal. You're going to need one 2x4 for the legs assemblies and the cleat in the middle that we put on there. And then of course you're going to need one additional 2x4 depending on the length of the bench that you're making for that centerpiece, if you're going to build it just like I did. And then of course you're going to need a 2x6 for your stretcher and for the bench top. But other than that, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this one, and thanks for watching.